Hello, my name is Julio Barrios, and this is my quality character presentation on confident. In my own words, to be confident is to have a belief based on facts that a goal can be achieved through the best efforts of a person tasked to achieve the goal, a person or people, because as a leader of a team, you're going to have multiple people that you need to rely upon to do their job well. And what I really wanted to highlight about this definition is that it's a belief based on facts. So you can say whatever you want to say and that you're confident in it, but if you haven't put in the work to build that confidence, then it's a false sense of confidence. To have true confidence, to be a confident individual, you have to put in the work in order to get to that point. So in that line, I think it's important to differentiate a confident leader versus an arrogant leader, which is sometimes a gray area for some people. So a confident leader has a quiet inner belief based on facts, whereas an arrogant person is going to be loud and in your face. They're going to try to make you think that they're confident. A confident leader is prepared to make necessary adjustments, will change things if they need to. An arrogant leader is going to be unwilling to change. They're going to want to try to keep doing the same things. They might see the need for change as a sign of weakness, and the last thing an arrogant person wants to do is to look weak. So a confident leader is not fazed by things like that. They'll make changes regardless of what people might think, if they think this is what'll be the best for their organization. A confident leader is constantly searching for information and best practices, whereas an arrogant leader feels like they have nothing else to learn. So a confident leader is a lifelong learner and understands that what worked yesterday might not work today and might not work tomorrow. So you constantly have to be looking for something to help elevate your organization. A confident leader values the input of their team, whereas an arrogant leader is going to be unapproachable by others. So some things about confident coaching. To do some confident coaching, you have to assertively make decisions when others might not understand or disagree. So that's sticking to your guns if you think this is what's going to be best for your organization, even if there's pressure to make changes. A confident coach shows respect in victory and losses. So regardless of the scoreboard or the stats, a confident leader understands that they're not defined by the stat sheet or the scoreboard or the win and loss column. A confident coach gets the buy-in from the team by making decisions that exude confidence. If you make decisions and you're confident about it, people are going to likely follow, especially if they see the work you've put in to make those decisions. When you're not very confident in your decisions and there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of changes, it's going to be very difficult for a team to follow this leader. Confident coaching is trusting the team strategy and philosophy even when things are not going to plan. So again, making sure that you don't on a whim make changes due to pressure or due to nervousness or indecisiveness. A confident coach knows that there's going to be ups and downs and they have a plan to work through that. Confident coaches also allow players to express themselves on and off the field as long as they fall within the core values and the mission of the team. They also take feedback from assistants and athletes in appropriate settings. There might not be a perfect time for this, but there's also times where in the middle of a game, maybe a confident leader is not gonna listen to an assistant asking to make dramatic changes. But after a game, before practice, places like this, where if an assistant or an athlete has some input, a confident coach should be able to take that input, synthesize it, and see if there's something that they can add to their current strategies. A great example of a confident coach is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the movie Gridiron Game. In this movie, the team is having a really tough game. They go into halftime, into the locker room, and the coach, instead of coming out and trying to motivate his team, he stays in his office, and he even gets questioned by one of his assistants. But the team is really down, and a leader of the team begins to motivate his teammates, encourage them, remind them of all the hard work they've put in. And by the end of that speech, everyone is fired up and ready for the second half. And the coach is just smiling and cheering them on at the end. He understands that just because he's a coach and he's a leader doesn't mean that he has to be the center of attention. So that shows me confidence that he doesn't need to feel like he needs to insert himself in certain situations. He gives people the opportunity to step up and become leaders themselves. So a great example of a real life confident coach is Carlo Ancelotti. He's the coach of Real Madrid, which is the most successful club team in the world and current European champions. So this season they did win the Champions League, but there was a point where they got scored on with 15 minutes left in the game, and if they lost the game, they would be out. You could see it in the crowd and the announcers that there was pressure, that there was doubts if it was going to work out. But when they panned to Carlo, he had a face of complete calm. He has this trademark calm down signal, but he was showing his team to be calm and to believe. He called a player off the bench, and that player came in and scored 2 goals and won the game from him. But within all of that, when they went down, when they tied it up, and then when they won, he maintained the same confident demeanor. And that confident demeanor, that confidence is built on the understanding that they have a game plan, they have talented players. We're going to keep fighting till the very end, and we can only do what we can do. So with that, he's not bothered by the pressure anywhere else, and I think that confidence is exuded onto the rest of the team, which is why they're so successful. Bruce Bowen has a great quote from his book: "Leaders have a quiet inner confidence based on readiness and their ability to prepare others to accomplish the task at hand. True confidence is gained from productive preparation and is spread by confident leadership." Again, one of the things I love about this quote is the part that I highlight here, talking about the productive preparation. Very intentional preparation leads to confidence, and that is how you spread confidence to others, by doing the work beforehand and then understanding that you can only control what you can do. Some examples of confidence of a confident athlete is that they know their role and they do it to the best of their ability. They're unbothered by external criticism and doubt, and they play the same way in training and in games. And this is again where that productive preparation ties in, where if you do the hard work beforehand, when you get to a game or a challenge or a situation that is demanding, you can feel confident that you've prepared yourself the best you possibly could. Confident athletes also encourage others to perform at their best, and they welcome challenges and use them as motivation to improve. Confident athletes and confident leaders in general understand that their goal is to be the best that they can be, and that means that others can also be the best that they can be. It's not a competition to see who's better and who's worse. It's about growing as individuals and having others push you to grow and you pushing others to grow. And they're able to maintain their composure in moments of high emotion, both negative and positive, just like Carlo Ancelotti earlier. A great example of a confident leader is Ricardo Kaká, who is a World Cup and Ballon d'Oro winner, which means he was voted the best player in the world in 2007. He says, "If things happen, it's because God has prepared me. God has great things for us. If it's God's will that I be there, I will be there." And I think this is an excellent quote that ties into leadership, because he understands that he's going to work hard. He's going to do everything he can to be the best player possible on the field. But at the end of the day, there's also the aspect of God's will. There are things that we cannot control, and a confident leader understands that they can only control what they can control, and the rest is in God's hands. And to have that understanding gives you a calmness, a serenity, to be able to go and perform to the best of your ability. In 2 Timothy 1:7, it says, "For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." This shows us that if we're Christians and we have the Holy Spirit in us, we have a spirit of confidence. We have the Lord with us to help us and guide us in situations where, if it's His will, we're going to be and succeed in. So in conclusion, a confident leader trusts themselves and others to do their job to the best of their abilities. They have a belief based in facts that goals can be achieved despite adversity. They trust their knowledge and preparation will allow them to make the best decisions possible, and they're open to feedback and criticism and are willing to acknowledge mistakes and make changes when necessary. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.